Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. This happy Sunday morning.
Yeah, easy like a Sunday morning.
Right.
I'm Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, and Jason is MIA today, but that's
we
okay.
miss you, Jason.
Yeah, we do, but yeah, we're good at
But we're
handling.
having fun.
Yeah, and we got Sean Morrison here with us, who was talking in our last segment with Good in the Hood, and tell us a little bit about. He is the CEO, founder.
Yeah,
Chief
they
pastor?
let me be the executive director. Like I said
Executive
last
director.
time, my son's debating that, but right now I'm big enough I can still win that battle. But
Right, awesome.
for a couple years.
Yeah, well, and thank you. I think it's just like, again, kindness. When you just said that word just resonated, with everything and that's going on in the community. It's so great to be able to focus on things that we're doing and back to school even, and with the holidays coming up, as much as we don't. Well, I like to think, I guess the holidays are good, but to me that resonates cold and snow and everything like that. But really, we talk about getting prepared to buy a home and everything like that. And your organization sounds like you're already preparing for, kind of already done back to school. You said that's kind of over with, right? Because really some kids are back to school already.
Yeah, we just did about 400 students with backpacks of school supplies. And thanks to our partner, Simon Says Give, who donated all those to us so we could give those out to kids in need.
Awesome.
So,
That's nice.
They did their high five for supplies, and we're one of their partners. And so we do a lot of partnering. You'll hear me mention different organizations because we can't do this alone.
Right.
We have to do it as a collaborative in order to really make a difference in the Twin Cities, and we want to do it, with a personal touch.
Yeah.
And so we create, a platform for being able to offer resources, and we invite partners to join us, and they generously do so.
Well, and we'd love to have them even on our show as well, like I said. So
Simon Says Gives.
All right.
Simon Says Give, excuse me.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, yeah, and definitely they deserve that shout out. So definitely we'll get connected with them. So I think, Dawn, you had some questions about the schools. Or?
Yeah, you mentioned that you're in schools and
Yeah.
in some colleges as well.
Right. Yeah, we do hunger relief, and it all started. I'll give you just a basic background so you can connect. But we started this whole thing at our church, and my wife and I came to pastor it. And it was a small church, and one that was just had a deep heart to make a difference. And so we said, "Do you want to feed the community?" And I had brought Good in the Hood, or I had created that already. And so I said, with Good in the Hood, we could provide all the resources, but we need the facility. And they generously agreed. So we just started a modest thing, and it was a 911 program. It was just kind of that sense of urgency. Let's feed the community. And this was in East Bloomington. And so we said 911 means adopt or sponsor 9 families with 1 week's worth of groceries per month for 1 year. And that
Awesome.
that was fun,
Wow.
and they got behind it. Well, it lasted 1 month, and then it was 20 families. And then in 3 months, it was 50 families. And today, out of that little church, about 500 families get served every month. So it's just exploded.
Wow.
Well, after that, we started going, well, we can do this here. What can we do elsewhere? And somebody said, well, let's look at some schools. And at that time, Normandale Community College just happened to be looking at, the needs of students. And they had done a survey, and 25% of the students they surveyed said they can't afford on-campus food options. They're just going to class hungry. And so
Wow.
we got together with them, and we said, we're happy to provide food. And if you can provide the place, the location, and the human resource to run the operation. And so the students run what's called the campus cupboard, and we give them 3 single-serving items every day that for those who want it. And last year we served over 5,000, or had over 5,000 visits to the campus cupboard. And that's Normandale. From
Wow.
there, somebody heard about us at Metro State. So Metro State University in St. Paul wanted to start something. And so we ended up collaborating with them, and we actually do a full food shelf there, groceries and single-serving items.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so we've been doing that for a couple years now. From there, we went and got contacted by one of our partners, Eaglebrook Church. They'd been supporting us, and one of their pastors, the wife of their pastor, Laura, works in the school system in District 833. And she saw that the need of kids on weekends to get food. And so they contacted us and said, can you provide food? And so we've started the weekend pack. We're in 8 schools right now. We serve over 100 kids every week with a backpack filled with things, 2 breakfast items, 2 lunch items, 2 dinner items, and 2 juice drinks for the weekend, so that when parents aren't able to provide for their children, and that's hard to believe in America, but it does happen.
Right.
They come to school on Monday hungry because they haven't eaten all week, and we're able to help kids in need.
And I think that's
Oh my
because I go to
gosh.
Eaglebrook
Wow.
Church, and so I remember when we had our drive-in, and I think that's maybe where I'd heard about it. I don't have children. I mean, I have nieces and nephews, but I don't have 5 kids or 12 grandkids, 7 nieces and nephews that I adore. But that was so surprising to me too when I'd heard that, and something I'd never even thought about is that when kids are going to school, they're getting their meals at school, but then on the weekends. And so I thought, yeah, what a great idea, a great concept, and something to be aware of, because I think maybe a lot of people aren't aware, even families aren't aware that their kids' friends. And people say, well, geez, why are your friends over here every weekend? Well, maybe because they know they're going to get a meal if they hang out at their friend's house.
It's true, and it's hard to believe hunger exists, and it's not that there's lack of supply, it's lack of getting it from point A to point B.
Resources,
yeah,
or
and transportation, so we started a mobile program actually, and we're going to be in 5 locations, including the Workforce Center in North Minneapolis and a couple churches in South Minneapolis, but it's to take it to the people approach. That's our kindness. We're very, we like to say we operate very lean, and we use buildings to help us have a place, a platform, but we're in several different locations. But hunger it hit me hard when in a couple of places, but where I realized the great need in America. One guy came to our food shelf. His name was Ricardo, and he couldn't work because of a disability. And he had a couple teen daughters, and his wife had gotten sick and passed away. And so here he is, a single dad raising a couple teen daughters. And he said, Pastor Sean, he said, thank you for what you're doing. He says, but the food you're providing, he says, is really difficult for me to use. And I said, well, why is that? He said, I can't work, so I can't make any money. He said, I can't repair my stove, so I'm cooking everything on a barbecue pit out in my backyard. He said, a lot of the food you're providing doesn't even meet that need. So we've even had to address, make changes and adjust.
Wow.
And this is in Bloomington.
right.
Yeah.
And another time we had some extra food and we didn't want to throw it away. So we just went door to door in South Minneapolis. And a couple of kids were with me, and we knocked on the door of the neighbor next to where we were doing the distribution. And a little child opened up the door, and I said, is your mom or dad home? And she went and got her mom, and Rochelle was the name of the gal. And Rochelle said, how can I help you? And I said, well, my name is Sean, and this is my family, and we're with Good in the Hood. And we had some extra food, extra groceries, and we want to not throw it away. So we're wondering if anybody could use the groceries, or perhaps you could even use some. Well, she just immediately broke into sobs. I mean, the type where you're heaving. I mean, it was disarming for me. And I had to wait until she could compose herself. And I said, Rochelle, what's going on? And she said, I'm a single mom working. And she goes, I buy groceries, trying to stay off welfare. She goes, I respect those who have to use it. But she goes, I wanted to do this on my own. I want to be independent. And she goes, and I just bought groceries, got my check, went to bed, and woke up in the morning. The refrigerator had broken, and I didn't know it. Lost everything. And she goes,
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
an hour ago, she goes, I asked God what I could do. And he said, and then you come. Now, it's a very precious thing if you've ever had an answered prayer, but it's really special if you get to be the vehicle with whom God answers the prayer. And that was like a holy place for me.
Wow.
And I realized we got to do something. Helen Keller said something really powerful. She says, I am only one, but I am one. I can't do everything, but I can do something. What's that something I'm going to do? And that really inspired me. She was deaf and blind and mute. I have a deaf son, so I can relate pretty close. But she was a hero. She didn't let her obstacles, become things
Right.
that caused her to not be able to do anything. She made a difference. And so our goal is to help everyone with that someone approach, where we want it to be a personal touch. You're not just anyone, you are someone. And so how can we treat you with dignity, and how can you join us? So it's not just us doing for you.
Right.
When you do with us, you're giving to us too. We feel part of it.
It's so inspiring. And so it's Good in the Hood. I'm looking at your shirt. You have it. I don't know, Bear, you probably got a good shot of them, but just like it sounds, Good, Good in the
Hood.
Hood.
Yeah.
So spelled out, goodinthehood.org.
Yeah.
.org.
.org.
And
correct.
so we just have another minute here before we get to our next segment, and we can talk more about it. But
Yeah, I've
so
got some more questions,
again,
too.
about the food donations and so forth. So like the bus is in Blaine today. If I live in Blaine, and so maybe
It's a shoe bus, yeah.
the shoe bus,
Yep,
right?
yep.
do you guys accept donations? So if I had shoes or even want to make a monetary donation or a food donation, if I noticed that the Good in the Hood bus was in my neighborhood, could I also stop there to make a donation?
Yeah, you certainly can. And the shoes can always be donated at any Schuler shoe store. They have been a great partner for us, and they have barrels inside every one of their doors of their 9 stores, and they will receive shoes for us.
Oh, awesome.
You can't always drop them off
cool.
at the shoe bus if it's there.
Okay.
Food donation, as long as they're non-perishables, we can take those there. But otherwise, we would need them dropped off at one of our food distribution sites. And financially, people can go online, goodinthehood.org, or they can mail us a check, and we certainly love that too.
Okay.
But we really just appreciate anybody's contribution, whether it's time or talent or treasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that's why I said too, I talked to Seth, I think one of the things our team, another volunteer activity, because that's one thing I feel like really fortunate is leading the community support campaign at Wells Fargo is we have so many team members. I mean, I don't even know, it's probably 60,000 in the Twin Cities. We're so passionate about volunteering as we get to come to a distribution center. He said, sort the shoes. So that's something kind of fun. So yeah, if you're an organization, I'll throw out the challenge to get your team members to volunteer at Good in the Hood. So great stuff,
Thank you.
Sean. And again, I'm Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage.
And I'm Dawn Eldridge with RE/MAX Results.
Stay tuned.
Sunday morning.